1, 2, 3, start.
Welcome students. I am Biswas. Once again welcome you to my channel. You are requested to follow my also Facebook page, Geography for You. Here today I am going to discuss about the chapter Human Development in Indian Context. So part 2 textbook we are going to learn, and this chapter we are going to learn about the particular topic, what is human development, and in Indian context what is the condition of it we are going to discuss. So first of all, that is the recap of the chapter, whatever we have read in the first part textbook. What is human development? Human development means the increase in freedom and decrease in unfreedom. When we able to increase the availability of the opportunities, when we expose the more opportunities to the human being, that is what is the human development. Once again I am going to remind you the who have given this concept, the two economists, one from India and another from Pakistan, Dr. Mehbubul Haq from Pakistan, and from India Dr. Amartya Sen, they have given the concept. Before going to start the discussion about that the particular topic, human development in Indian context, we want to give you that the emphasis on the particular thing, that is what are the differences between the development and growth. What is the difference between the growth and development? Growth is value, it is not the value positive always. Growth may be increase or decrease, whereas development is totally value positive, always remain in the continuous increase condition or obviously for the betterment. How far the development is, human development is different from the development, economic development. What is the meaning of economic development? What is the meaning of human development? Economic development means that the per capita income, that is the source of income of the people, that is concerned to the economic development. Here we used to see that in case of economic development, we used to see that the per capita income, GDP, etc. But in case of what? In case of human development, we do not see such type of things. What we used to give the emphasis? We used to give the emphasis on the human development, that is other things, that the development of the human related things. So in this very particular textbook, the second part textbook in Indian context, when we are going to discuss that the human development, the first two things we are going to get it. The one is the Eurocentric view of development. What is the meaning of Eurocentric view? Eurocentric view. Eurocentric view means European style of development. European style of the development says about what? Says about the development of infrastructure mainly. Infrastructure development. So infrastructure development is mainly related to the Eurocentric development. So Eurocentric development usually says about the development of roadways. Next one, computerization. Next one, making of the lots of new buildings, etc. So all these are referred as the Eurocentric view. But in Indian context, we do not say that it is only the development. But what is development in Indian context? The ethical development of the people, mental satisfaction of the people, those which are related to the security, those which are related to the equality, those which are related to the empowerment. All such things we also give the emphasis in Indian context in human development. So in Indian context, when we proceed the chapter, we will see that there are some of the things related to the human development of India. First of all, we have to read it, that what is the rank of India. At present, India ranked the 131 among the 188 number of countries, and India, we have to keep in mind, India is also lacking behind than the other small countries in the surroundings of India in human development index. Why? Because the human development in our country do not able to ensure that ensure the development in educational field. Some of the lacunas are there, some of the lackness still now exist in some areas of key areas of human development. In the comparison of the first part textbook, what we have read, we used to give that the emphasis on the some of the topics, some of the things, which things number one, we have to keep in mind access to the health, access to the education, access to the resources. We used to give the emphasis to count the HDI or to relate the HDI, means Human Development Index. But in such cases, India is lacking behind in comparison to the other small countries like Sri Lanka. So what we are getting, India's position, it is 131 at present out of 188 number of countries in the world. Next one, in this context we will see that how Human Development Index is being calculated in India. That in the same way, you will see that the very particular in the page number 25 of your textbook, you will see low scores in the HDI is a matter of serious concern, but some reservations have been expressed about the approach as well as also indicators selected to calculate the index values and ranking of the states or countries. Lack of sensitivity to the historical factors like the colonialism, imperialism and neo-imperialism, all these are also related to what? Also related to the some causes for what? Causes for the India's low rank in HDI. Next one, we are coming to that point, how we calculate using the indicators selected by the UNDP. So UNDP has given according to UNDP, United Nations Development Program, UNDP has given out some of the ways on which we used to calculate HDI. Some of the fields are education, next one health, next one purchasing capacity of the people. All these you have read already in the earlier chapter. So in this regard, what is the score of the different states, different districts, that we are going to see. And by seeing the performance of the different states, different block, different areas, different administrative units, we used to calculate the HDI for the whole country. So what is the way to calculate the HDI? I think it is clear to you. If you have any problem, you will inbox me, I will rediscuss about it. Next one, what are the indicators of the human development? We have chosen that the three indicators for India. Three indicators. There are three indicators. For what? Indicators for HDI or human development in India. What they are? Number one, that is the economic attainments. In the case of the economic attainments, next one, social empowerment, and next one we are getting the indicators to the healthy life, health. So these three basic areas we used to see, that is that economic attainments means what is the purchasing capacity of the people, what is the per capita income of the people, that is also related to the indicating of the HDI or the values of India in human development. Next one, social empowerment says about the participation of the people in the different works, their abolition of the caste-based society. Next one, indicators of the health used to give us the concept about that the lowering down of the death rate, increasing of the birth rate, or the other facilities by which we used to improve the condition of the health. So all these are related to the indicators of the health. So one by one, economic attainments. The first of all, gross national product GNP and its per capita availability are taken as its per capita availability. Once again, well-being and gross national product and its per capita availability are taken as measure to access to the resources, endowment of any country. Economic attainment and well-being individuals depend on economic growth, employment opportunities and access to assets. So economic development, how can we relate this one? How can we find out, how can we relate this one? We can relate this one in the way of what? In the way of availability of the resources to the people, means the purchasing capacity of the people, well-being of the individuals, which also depend on the per capita income. Next one, employment ratio and the economic development in the terms of GDP as well as also GNP, that is the gross national product. Next one, if we turn the page 26, you will see what is the performance of India. The percentage of the persons below the poverty line in 2011-2012 has been estimated 25.7% in the rural areas, whereas 13.7% in the urban areas and 21.9% for the country as a whole. So we are getting that the performance of India in economic sector, how many number of poor people are there, we are also calculating this one. That is 25%, 25.7% in the rural areas, 13.7% in urban areas, and in overall country, that is 21.9%. Gross domestic product, what is GDP? Gross domestic product of a country does not fully reflect the quality of the life of the people. There are other factors like the housing, access to the public transport, the other basic necessary things, those which are required in the life of us, that also included in case of the economic attainment. So calculation of GDP is not only the way to calculate the human development index. So you have to give also the emphasis on the other factors related to the economic development, which are related mainly to the access to the resource. Next one, we are coming to the indicators of the healthy life. Already I have told you, indicators of the healthy life. What is this? Related to the reduction in the number of dead person, what is the death rate, what is the birth rate, that we used to calculate in this sector. So what is the economic indicators of the healthy life? India has improved a lot in comparison to 1951 to 81. This segment, India has improved a lot. Or in comparison to the first phase of the population growth, India has developed its health condition. Nowadays, Indian government also has taken that lots of initiatives to provide the good health for the people, such as Swachh Bharat Mission, that SBM. What is this? The India, if we able to provide the clean environment, then obviously we can also lead a decent life. That is why India government also has given the emphasis on the Swachh Bharat Mission or SBM. Next one, indicators of the social empowerment. Development is freedom from the hunger, poverty, servitude, bondage, ignorance, illiteracy. All these are referred as the social empowerment. So social empowerment, not only that the abolition of the caste-based society, that is also related to the increasing of number of literacy, the scope of education, bondage freeness from the bondage, all these, and which ultimately leads to the freedom from hunger, poverty, and servitude. All these we have to keep in mind. Next one, in this part you will see that the overall literacy of India, that is the approximately 74.04%, means it has increased. And next one, total literacy as well as the female literacy is higher than the national average. Most of the states of the South India, what we are getting here that the concept that there is a little bit variation among the states. What the South Indian states, they are most advanced than the North Indian states. So the rate of literacy, it is comparatively lesser in North Indian states. So all these things are giving the condition of the regional disparities. There are wide regional disparities literacy rate across the states of India. States like Bihar, which has the very low percentage, that is a 60%, 63.82% of people, they are literate. That is the lowest literacy level in India. Whereas 99.9% people in Kerala, they are literate. So there is huge disparity among the social empowerment among the states for the social empowerment. So social empowerment, basically in your textbook, it has been discussed on the basis of literacy. Next one, we are coming to that the next point, that the Human Development Index in India. Human Development Index in India, you will see that the chart number, table number 3.4 of your textbook, that is page number 29. What is the first rank goes to Kerala with the HDI value 0.79, and Chhattisgarh scores that the lowest rank, that is the 23rd that among all the states, and that score, it is just only 0.35%. 0.35 is the score of Chhattisgarh, and Chhattisgarh was in the lowest position in HDI. Next one, population, environment and development. The population, environment and development, what is the relationship between the population between the population, environment, as well as the how far development used to get concerned with them. if there is a huge increase of population, there might have the possibility of reduction of the rate of development. We have to keep it in mind, because where the large population is there, such large population may not be given that all the opportunities. That is the first thing we have to keep in mind. Next point, we have to keep in mind what? We have to keep in mind that there is also the problem of what? Problem of pollution in the environment. We cannot deny it. With the increase of the population, or with the increase of the developmental rate, there is obviously the problem of pollution that we cannot deny, such as for the countries development in GNP, countries development in the per capita income availability, or that the empowerment of what? Empowerment of the people's employment. In the terms of employment, what we have to see? We have to find out that the rate of employment. When the rate of employment is increasing, means obviously the industrialization or that the urbanization is increasing, or the tertiary activities are increasing. Tertiary activities, secondary activities are increasing by the cost of what? The environment. We are losing the environmental condition. So we have to keep in mind that more development means more possibilities. Some of the capabilities we used to invite, that is the personal capabilities, environmental capabilities. Personal capabilities means problem in our daily life as complexity used to increase, whereas the environmental capabilities refers what? Environmental capabilities says about that the deterioration of the environment. So what is the suggestion? In the very last part of the chapter we have reached, that is the suggestion. How can we cope up with it? There is the two ways. Two things we will read here, we will learn here. That is, one is the approach of the neo-Malthusians, and another is the Gandhian philosophy, Mahatma Gandhi's view. What is Mahatma Gandhi's view? That the peace, by empowering the people. How? Empowering the people, obviously, by not developing the more number of mass production center. According to Gandhiji's view, the mass production should be done by the masses. Means the production system, it will reach to the basics portion of the country, grassroots level of the country, that is the rural area. So where the people, rural India's people, they will be engaged in the production system. Means production by the masses, not people will go to the mass production center. Means people will not rush to the cities. That is the Gandhi's philosophy. The second point regarding the Gandhian philosophy, that is the peace in the society. Means we have to make a harmonious life. We have to create such situation in which we can understand the decent life. We can go through that life without any kind of violence. So that is, and neo-Malthusians also saying that we have to reduce the cost of the reduction. We have to reduce the expenditure on warfare. We have to reduce the cost on purchasing the weapons. We have to reduce the possibility of to avoid the condition in which the third world war may happen. So in this way we can ensure the development in the country. So basic thing of the country, for the country's development is to create such situation in which the people, they can enjoy the life, they can enjoy the freedom, and increasing freedom, or obviously by reducing the chance of the violence, war, etc. So thank you. Have a nice day ahead.